Can you scale your business without any paid ads? Is it possible? I have Julie Gerard with me, co-founder of Rocky Mountain Bin Blasters, and that is exactly what they did. Julie, how you doing today?
Good, Amy. Thanks for having me today.
Of course. So I think it's a pretty amazing success story that you have that you only did organic social media and no paid ads and scaled the business.
Yeah, we were pretty fortunate and not really understanding or knowing like how to do the whole social media thing or like what that actually entailed or took to do it. We were able to really just we started off on Nextdoor and kind of put it out there that we were cleaning garbage bins, and as a need, people thought that like let's go for it. Um So no, we basically, just put out on Nextdoor that we were interested in helping people keep their environment clean, since everyone in Colorado has to keep their garbage bins within their garages. Typically, HOAs don't allow for us to have them outside.
Oh,
We
wow.
faced it ourselves where it freaking stunk. So, um, we tried to find someone to clean our garbage bin. We called a couple of the folks that were here locally, and they never called us back. So we started doing the research. We built the business, and before we hit the ground running, we just started putting it out on our own personal Nextdoor pages. And as soon as we went live, it just kind of took off. And since then, we've never paid for an ad at all. And we've grown to now, this is our just turning into our fourth year, and we have over 900 recurring customers that we see on a weekly, biweekly, or quarterly basis, and over 3,500 in customers served in northern Colorado, and no advertising other than just posting, here and there on like a Facebook moms group or local business page on Facebook, being in a parade, but not paying a dime for advertisement. So while I think many businesses do the right thing with advertising, it's not something that is necessary necessarily, if that makes sense.
No, that absolutely does, and I think that's pretty huge because you not only took to the organic, you actually took to the organic where people are looking for services like that,
Yeah.
where people just wanna attack ads or say, "Oh, organic, it doesn't work. I've made a few posts, so I'm not gonna do that anymore."
Yeah.
How often how often do you think you guys were posting? Did you have a cadence that you posted to regularly?
In the beginning, it was more over just trying to guess what that cadence should be. We were posting at least twice a week on Nextdoor, both myself and my husband. Um, and then it became a word of mouth situation. We started the business officially January 2nd, 2023, and from there we started that first like month with about 15 customers. Anyone in
Wow.
the garbage bin cleaning business in the wintertime typically shuts down because they don't have the technology to stay open. And so we devised the
Right.
technology for our trucks so that we can stay open regardless of the weather. So we're a year round service. And, germs don't go away in the winter. Bugs don't stop happening in garbage regardless of the time of year. And same with rodents, right? So, and actually viruses live more substantially during the winter within your within your garbage pails and stuff. So while I was never the expert on garbage ever in my life, we kind of took this need, and it's been by word of mouth, and it's the referrals, but it's the constant upkeep with the customers, and it is now become more of a, on Monday I'm posting in this group, on, Tuesday I'm posting in this group,
Mhm.
or whatever that might look like, and across the different social media platforms. So it's just kind of trying to find what that right touch is without overwhelming people too by being like someone who's spamming. You don't want to do that.
Right. Right. I think
So,
a lot of businesses feel like, well, if I put a post out, I already put it. So everybody saw it and I don't want to add any more. But
mhm.
there is that fine balance, especially when you are in groups, because there are plenty of times where there's missed opportunities for businesses that
Absolutely.
they they could have been the one that somebody went on Nextdoor. I'm looking for a garbage bin cleaner, or I'm looking for a gutter service or a gardener, and it goes unanswered. So, that's amazing that you guys actually focused on all the groups that people are looking for the specific services.
Yeah, I mean, we have David and I live in Colorado now, but we lived in New York our whole lives. We had a very successful construction company back in New York, and again, it was all referral based. We didn't have to, but it's a different type of dynamic, and so going into a service industry business is very different than a construction business. So, we
Right.
didn't know what to expect or really what to do. And so we started on Nextdoor because we know that's where we went when we were trying to find someone to clean our bins and was unsuccessful in doing that. So that was like our first, okay, then this is where we need to be. So um, we ironically enough, we had been on there enough in advance of us going live with the business that a local competitor had gone on because he was closed for the season. He had gone on to start doing some advertising for bin cleaning himself, and then had seen us kind of all over the place on there, reached out to us and said, "Well, I can't compete because of the comments that you guys are getting." And so I had planned on moving to Texas next year. I think I'll do that early. Do you want to then contract out and clean my customers' bins? So that was
Oh,
really
wow.
yeah, so that was really like the first measure that kind of jump started things even after like us initially signing up. He had been in business for 3.5 years. He had a single trailer that he just pulled behind his truck, had to manually lift the garbage pail up onto the thing to clean it. And really archaic like way of doing business. So from a timeliness perspective, his growth capabilities were less because it's a more of a manual process, right? So it slows you down. Where we had put our build was, manual, all electronic components so that the job can go more quickly. So we took over his customer base of about 130 people, and we paid him a portion of that for about a year until he decided to no longer pay us. And so we
Mm.
severed ties with him, and he was still in Texas. But in that time, of the 130, customers that he had, we had already built up ourselves in that first year over 300.
Right.
So we realized we didn't actually need to worry about his his portion of the business, and those who wanted to stay, they would, and those who had, their connections to him would eventually realize that we were the ones that were servicing them for the last year or whatever anyway, and
Right.
they would come back. And I think now of all the 140 customers that he's had, we only have like 15 that never came back, and whether they moved or whatever, but yeah, so we've been very fortunate, but it is that
That's
typical.
great customer retention.
Yeah, it's been pretty amazing. It's been pretty amazing. We have not lost customers because of service issues. We've lost customers because they've moved, but not because they weren't happy with the service. So,
Oh, that's amazing.
yeah,
That's something that I think a lot of service businesses tend to forget as they are growing and scaling. They may start out with excellent customer service and then they grow, but their model does not translate as
right.
they're scaling. So
Yeah,
that's something that's difficult.
it is difficult.
Um,
It is difficult,
yes.
absolutely. Um, it's a constant churn of how can we how can we do it better but still keep our promise of service, and so that has been, while we've grown, it's not expanding into areas that are too far so that we're not meeting the quality or the timeliness of our service. So that way,
Right.
we don't risk then upsetting someone, because it is important. And every Google review matters. So you want to be
Yes.
sure that that happens.
And speaking of your Google reviews, you guys also along the way had found out about Google's not so well known guardrails
Yeah.
by just being grateful for nice reviews that were left for you all.
Yeah. Presently, we have about 208, 210 5-star reviews, which every
That's
review was a blood,
amazing.
sweat, and tear to get to make certain that it maintained at that 5-star. But
Right.
we were at like 275 Google reviews, and we do try to, one thing that we really do try to make certain we do is respond to everybody because we do feel it's important. The community has helped us grow, and we are grateful and thankful for that, right? So we want to thank our customers. While it's a small thing responding, it does mean a lot to us, everyone who's gone on to take the time to do that.
Mhm.
So we were at about 275 reviews, and one day we woke up and we were at like 180. And we were like, what the hell happened?
Oh,
So
gosh.
Dave reached out to Google, and they had eliminated all of those reviews overnight, and we didn't understand why. Like, what happened, And
Right.
according to Google, the reason they eliminated those reviews was because in his response to those individuals saying, thank you so much, we appreciate your business, we love cleaning bins in, XYZ town, whatever town it was that they live in. Apparently that's a flag to Google, and they don't like
Mhm.
if you mention a town in your response. And so, it's one of those things that we've been fighting to get those reviews back and losing.
Right.
But they gave us a few back, and they said, we were like, but why wouldn't you give us them all back? And they said, well, it kind of looks like maybe you fished for those reviews. And we said, no, we earned every one of those reviews, and just because
Right.
we're being grateful and thanking our customers, it's really awful that you're just negating that, because
Yes.
people do look at Google reviews. I mean, I make decisions based on reviews every day.
Of
So
course.
that's
That's where people go. People will go to Google reviews. Yelp is another platform,
don't even get
and
me
they
started
have a
on there.
lot of yeah, they have I'm sure you've had that happen because what they will do is you can have amazing reviews left from somebody, but if they're not a Yelper and
Right.
don't leave enough reviews, they keep it in the hidden pile.
Yep.
So,
Yep. And you have to go look for it. And I've had
yes,
numerous of conversations with Yelp saying, "This is BS. Like, are you kidding me?" Because I have like
it is.
30 Yelp, because I don't push Yelp so much. I don't It's not like a reference point for me where I don't really go to Yelp
Mhm.
myself personally, so I don't push that effort onto Yelp. But I did have customers who would like text me and say, "Hey, I just left you guys a Google and a Yelp review." And I'm like, "Oh, great, thank you." So I go to look for it on Yelp, and I'm like, "Where?" And so I reached
Gone.
out to Yelp, and I'm like, "These people are telling me they're leaving a review, and well, those are in your hidden." I'm like, "Wait, what?" So of the amount of reviews that I have, it's like I have 30 reviews, but you only have 4, 5-star reviews on Yelp because they're not a Yelper. I'm
Right.
like, "Okay, well, I'll
Yes.
never be a Yelper, so there goes that theory."
Yes. Yes, Yelp has been frustrating business owners for
Yeah,
years with that.
yeah.
I don't know why they don't change that model. But that is another struggle too because business owners have The ones that I talk to, a lot of them don't know where to post. They don't know the cadence that they should post at. And then getting reviews, they're like, "Well, I don't wanna keep harassing my clients and asking." And then, if I ask them and I send a link with a few of them, they just use one, and then do I do the others? And there's so many different touch points now that business owners need to be savvy about.
Yeah.
And
And
and then
I'm
there's paid
still
ads
learning.
on top of that.
Right. And I'm still learning. I mean, there's so much that I don't know that,
Right.
you know, that I could be doing things better, right? I mean, I think what helped, and it wasn't because I had any kind of savvy in social media by any stretch, because I absolutely don't. Um, was I have 35 years of sales experience, so just understanding like the amount of touch points you need to have with a customer to make them trust you, right? It's
Yes.
and like you, because people do business with those that they like and trust, and the moment that you've pissed them off or they don't trust you any longer, they're going to find somebody else, even if that service costs more business with another, competitor. um they're going to do that. But having come from this with my sales background, it's just understanding what that frequency is without irritating the crap out of everybody. And
Right.
it's so different on social media. It's so different on social media. And I'm still trying to
It
figure
really
it out,
is.
but we've done a fairly good job so far.
Yes. Yes, you guys have. And I think even figuring that out, it's going to keep evolving because there's also AI. There's people that are utilizing AI to help maybe optimize their Google profile.
Mhm.
And some it's a win. Some people are using it to write all of their ad copy, and some are very noticeable. A lot are very
Yeah,
noticeable. I
absolutely.
mean, I think everybody at this point knows if it's the M dashes, oh, you had ChatGPT write that up for you.
Right.
Like,
Exactly. Exactly.
it's
Yeah, I mean, I definitely utilize AI, not necessarily so much for what may go into the texts or the language for which I write. Um, the posts about what I try to do, and something that like individuals have laughed about or told us that they've enjoyed is some of the more silly things, and some of the
right.
more, like, gross aspects of what we do, right? So, we have Maggot Monday, and we post a video about the maggots we got to see that week, right? Or, uh,
Gosh.
F it Friday, like, we're done with this week, so we're just gonna, like, haul off, obviously, clean your bins, but, it's kind of doing some of those more fun things, and there's an expectation that people have when they see them. And
Yes.
so when I've not been consistent, which my biggest problem is I'm very consistent at being as inconsistent as I need to, but I try. I also have a day job and we have a couple other businesses, so I do my best, but
Mhm.
um it is that, there is a level of expectation when you have something that's comical like that. When Dave goes up to a bin, or one of our drivers, because for the most part, we have drivers that are out now, but Dave can sometimes take a little time and make something more entertaining, and he'll kick a bin and all the flies will come flying out, and then, like, look in, and that's all the maggots are, right? And it's gross, but people love gross, and so people
Got
wanna see
Yes.
it,
flies?
and so when you're not getting your Maggot Monday video out, they're like, "Where's the video?" Or so, it's building up that, "Okay, we come to expect this, so, like, deliver."
Right. It
Um,
it really does. I think, there's businesses that are still very set in, oh, well, I have a website and I have a few ads running, so that should be enough. But then there's so many other businesses that took to online, took to the creativity, showing the different things, where I think it really bridges that gap. I mean, I'm not going to think about my garbage cans. I put them on the side of the house, but I know where you're coming from because some people do put them in the garage here. And I'm like, ugh,
Yeah.
no. But somebody else in your area, hey, you're going to come through and I could see it and see a funny video, and it brings that connection. Oh, I definitely want to work with this business. And
Yeah.
that's, I think, a lot of them that, especially Instagram and TikTok, I think have cornered a lot of markets because not only is it just some ad copy that is answering the question of somebody's pain point, it's you can see it. You can see what it's like. So it's almost like going to a home show where you get that more of that experiential experience of it.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. I think there's a lot to be said because there is a before and there is an after, right? Like I get 50 phone calls a day of, I need you to come now. Someone spilled something in my garbage. The other day it was my son went fishing and he put everything in the garbage can. And
Rocky Mountain Bin Blasters.
my daughter actually was out doing the route that day and she got stuck doing that house. And she said she had never in her life ever smelled anything as horrific as that bin, right? But their neighborhood requires it be in their garage. And so
yes.
it was permeating the house, it was
Oh,
permeating everything. And so they did put it outside and they had neighbors complaining. And so and so we get this call and they're like, "Can you come like now?" And while we have maybe 70 visits that day, it's about that thing that we always say when we do let people know who we are, that in that emergency or in that situation, like, is it an emergency? Well, I guess if
right.
you're going to find $200 from your HOA because your garbage can is out, which she would have, yeah, it's an emergency. So we went out like immediately, right? And it took a lot of stuff because we don't use chemicals, but,
Right.
and we do get something like that. We use like vinegars and things because that will penetrate the plastics and
Hmm.
it will eliminate that smell. Um, but it takes that extra care. We do have one competitor left in this area. Everybody else who was here is no longer in business. So it speaks a lot
Oh, that's
to the
great.
fact, yeah, we have a wall of all the stickers of everyone that we've taken over. Like I feel bad, but not. Um,
Well, fine.
but um, we don't want them going to the competitor because if we're not going, then someone else will, right? The other
Right.
guy will. So it is maintaining that and saying and doing what we say we're going to do and not under delivering
Hmm.
or over promising.
Right. Right. That is very common in a lot of businesses today. Overpromise and underdeliver is a very common thread. And I
Absolutely.
think what I'm seeing with businesses that do thrive is that they are adapting to the digital world. And then not only that, they're still keeping that old school connection because there's still that, that customer satisfaction that you want. There's still that, you want them to call you again. You want them to, be able to tell all the neighbors down the street because nothing spreads faster than, oh, do you know what this company did? They really did a number on me. And,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
sometimes they don't tell you, or sometimes they won't go online. Like, I'm not going to go online and blast the recent repair guy that charged me to not even diagnose the problem. I'm
Right.
just not going to do it.
Like
I
you have
will
other
take
things
care
to
of
do.
it. Yes. And it's like I don't want oh, I'm sorry, we did everything for this customer.
Right.
We've all read those reviews and then the bad reviews and then how they handled it. So I think
Yeah.
that's important for businesses too, is how did you handle this upset customer? Because I've seen some that are like out and out. I'm like, oh, you ready to like throw hands in the street with this person?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Absolutely.
that's not gonna win people over.
Right, right. I think you said something there that was really interesting. You said that, taking the new technology and the things that people and like what AI is bringing for us today, but then also bringing in that old world, customer service that I think we all remember as youngsters, our Gen
Right.
X people, right? We actually have to like call on the telephone, but we answer the phone,
Yes.
and I know like our competitors don't, and they'll get a call back in an
Yeah.
if I'm on a call, I will respond to you then. I'll call you right back, right?
Right.
Dave will call you right back. We don't let that go. You know, um, and we over communicate, which sometimes I feel like upsets people. But
Hmm.
um, at the end of the day, I've been told more often than not, that's great. We love the fact that, you text us to say, hey, we're running behind, or hey, your garbage
Right.
yet, so we need to wait till tomorrow or whatever. People really enjoy the fact that at 8:30 at night, I text to let them know we haven't forgotten about them, but their garbage company didn't come, and we'll see you tomorrow. So
That's
it's a
really good.
yeah,
That's a good point because you don't want to dive fully into digital marketing and then just throw the baby out with the bathwater and forget about the customer service and the aspect of, yes, sometimes you need to pick up the phone or at least have that automation set up that will text people. And then, the reminders, because everybody's so busy these days. Everybody's getting notifications in the email and, my kid's off here or I'm running late to that and things
right.
happen. But the more that you have that connection, that really stands out more.
hmm I think what is such a great thing about today in business is there's two things that can happen if you're not willing to embrace what technology is capable of doing for you and utilizing things for you to do a better job in the service industry or whatever you're doing. It's going to be your failure, right? So, like, for instance,
Right.
no, I can't necessarily always answer the phone, and I'm not going to sit there on my cell phone where I have like fat thumbs and I can't text and I'm always spelling stuff or whatever. So, like, use technology and have an app that I pay for that allows for it to go to voicemail if I'm on the phone. And everyone loves our voicemail system. It's hysterical. It's a Australian accent, and everyone's like, "Who's the Australian?" And I'm like, "No one's the Australian. It's just funny," and they love it, right? We get comments on it all the time. But within that, it gives them the opportunity to, just leave a voicemail if they don't want to talk to someone, or they can text
Hmm.
technology. I can text them back. I can read their voicemail if I'm in a call and text them back. It gives me
Right.
the opportunity to do more than one thing at once, which
Right.
in this day and age we need, but then still answer the phone when it rings.
Of
Because
course.
I I hate nothing more than like I want an answer and I can't get anywhere.
Yes.
Nothing worse, in my opinion.
Yes. I know if I was that mom and my son came home with dead fish and I had to deal with that, I would be calling like, please answer the phone. I'm
Yeah,
desperate.
she was
I
on
am.
7:30 that morning.
Yes. Yes, that would be me. And there's something a lot of businesses don't, or they do set up automation and they think it's like that Ron Popeil, like set it and forget it and
Right.
and it's good. And then
Yeah.
they have broken automation or broken links or there's a
Yeah,
lot of that happens. So
absolutely.
there's there's still, I think, AI in the digital world has come in to make more conveniences, but at the same time, they still need maintenance, just like the trash cans need maintenance.
Right, absolutely. I mean, I have an AI tool that I use for different business, and it's got a bot for every aspect if I was to have an entire, like, back office working for me. So it's got someone who's constantly looking at my someone. It's got a bot
Right,
that's constantly looking at, my SEO and what can I change so that the analytics sway in this direction, or it's got,
right.
here, let's do this blog, and, it'll I put in the information and I can either have it write it or just edit it, right? One that
Mhm.
does ad work, for constant posting on social media. And those
Right.
you can often tell are AI, and sometimes you can't, right? It's garbage in, garbage out, right? So it's only as good as
Mhm.
the information or the pictures that I get that I can put into that AI for it to spit that back out. My nemesis is editing,
Right.
so I do everything under the sun to not have to edit. But I'm learning I have to embrace it. I can do it, but I have to embrace it so I can learn it better, right? But
Yes.
I just hate editing.
And then there are a lot of great tools now to incorporate all these things, but there's still that process. So a lot of people just want the quick, easy route because maybe they saw a YouTube video like, hey, if you just do a little bit of this social, you're going to get leads, I don't know, pouring in like dump trucks full or something. There's
Right.
there's so many big promises,
Yeah.
but there's still a progression of it. There's still, a little learning curve that needs
Yeah.
to have that time taken.
Yeah, I mean, we were very fortunate that we grew organically like we have without having to advertise. So I'm very blessed that that's the case. I'm almost fearful of doing some actual manufacturer like advertising and or like production. We've put out some good production videos like on our website and stuff like that. But
Right.
I'm almost concerned that if I go down that path at this point with how few competitors, there's only one other competitor here locally.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know that I mean, I'm turning business away all the time because I'm not that far south. So I get calls from like down Castle Rock area, which is like 2 hours from me, and we're not servicing down there. So we're
Oh,
turning
wow.
business down. But in the meantime, I'm just concerned if we do start putting that stuff out there, we do start maybe paying some Facebook ads or something like that. Like there's a competitor that is south and he's trying to come up here, but he has not been able to make that happen for himself. And he is spending a lot of money on Facebook ads. And he's got one of those trailers where everything is manual himself as well. And he's got like 110 customers. You can't sustain a lively 110 customers, but at the same time, you're in that double-edged sword, right? Like you've got two large competitors here, myself and our other competitor who's been doing it locally here for a few more years than we have. Them trying to come up here and they don't have the capability with their equipment to compete. And so they're advertising in the hopes that they're going to gain more momentum that way. But oftentimes I'm like, are you just throwing away those profits versus like really
Right.
truly going out there and doing your best to be the best service to the customers that you have? And that's where I think they fall short because I've not heard great things
Mhm.
when people have had experiences with them. And so then it's that whole maybe if you take a step back, not put all that into payments for ads and
Yeah.
work on your core customer,
And
you'll
apply it to
then
modernize.
right, right. So, I don't know.
Oh, that's interesting. We'll see. Oh, we have a little guest.
We
Oh, how
have
cute.
we have a duck,
Oh,
my
I
orange
love a
psycho
little
cat.
a little visitor. It's always
Yes,
the orange ones.
always the orange.
They always are.
Yeah, I'm not
All right. So, Julie, if everything that you built on organic disappeared tomorrow, what is the one thing you would start with again?
so, to be honest, I don't think that I would change anything with how we started. I feel like we did a really good job with explaining like what we were trying to accomplish and why we were trying to accomplish that. We didn't have a budget. Dave had literally just lost his job. We were going in this as a side gig And then 3 days before we, went live on the website, he was laid off. So his side gig became his day job. And I think what people bought into was us, right? Putting it out on Nextdoor and Facebook. And I think that we would do the real thing. They were responding more to us versus the company, right? And then with that, we built a reputation for doing what we said we were going to do, which is show up when we said we're going to show up, communicate if there's anything that's changing, and, be that service company that, you know, while niche, um, nobody else is doing, right? It's a growing business, right? And so there are some that are super successful that are using paid ads and trying to do things that way. But um, we did a lot of, hey, let us know your feedback. So that way, when we were getting that feedback, we were learning from what our customers had to say. Dave would go around and just clean free garbage bins. He'd pick a street and say, if their garbage pail is out, I'm cleaning it that day, right? And then they'd have our sticker on the side of it and be like, what is going on? And they'd call us and, you guys did an unbelievable job. Thank you so much. I want to sign up for service, whatever that was, right? And I think that that's how we would do it again. I don't think it requires you to spend a ton of money, 15, 20, $30 a day, where it's just that genuine connection that people want to do business with people who are not trying to make a killing. We're reasonably priced so everyone can afford it. And we said what we're going to do and just go at it that way again. I think it worked well the first time, and I think it would work well again. And we have other businesses that we've since launched and are doing similar things in that same capacity, right? They've trusted us with this. Will trust us to clean up your dog poop, right? We do all the dirty jobs. So, and that's kind of how we just evolving. So,
That's awesome. And that's such a repeatable concept.
yeah,
Give good service, outreach first. And that's I mean, what Dave did going to clean people's bins. And
yeah,
let me show you what we do. Here's a complimentary
yeah,
cleaning. This is what we do. That's also what social media is. Here's a complimentary view of who we are. Do you like us? Click like, sign up, give us a call. That's
right. Yeah,
it's repeatable because
yeah.
community is important. And I think it's important to have that passion for whatever you do, you know?
Yeah, I
You
mean,
guys have that.
it's funny because I know that when David had lost his job and he was out cleaning garbage bins, and while, there was like 2 weeks a month because we start off like anybody else, right? You don't have that business. So you're not terribly busy, and he was out there cleaning garbage bins, and while he doesn't care what people think of him, he was like, I'm cleaning trash cans. Like, this is what I'm doing. And I think there was a moment or two, 10, where he felt like, this sucks. I'm cleaning garbage cans. But then he started to realize, as more and more people would talk to him, and we were we were giving, if you had, one of the garbage carriers around here used to have pink garbage bins, and so if you had a pink garbage bin, you got a free cleaning because you were a breast cancer survivor, right? And so we're giving you free garbage bin cleaning, and we do the same for families who have, their son or their husband in the service and away, and local, we want to give back. We give to the local food pantry. We're a um, uh, mobile pickup organization that we pick up, regardless of whether you're a customer, we'll pick up food donations for our local food pantry. And you can use our service or not. But if you want to donate food and you're elderly and you can't get out to donate that food, you call us. No questions asked, and we're going to pick that up, right? We want to, as much as we want to be in business to make money, right? We do want to be able to help support too. So,
Right.
just them people understanding that we're not just here about the $15 monthly service to get your garbage bin clean. We want to see the people in our community eating. We want to see kids playing sports, and so we participate with that and we sponsor that. So it is about more than just cleaning a garbage can, right? And I think that helps out. And I don't think I would change a thing. I would pray it would work again, but um, I'd have to rethink it if it didn't.
I think it worked. It sounds like you guys built something very repeatable that's built on really great values and serving your community. And that's, you know, if we don't
Yeah,
have community, then what?
right. No, absolutely, absolutely. We're all neighbors, right? It's we all have to live with one another, whether we like
Absolutely. Better to live with cleaner
clean
garbage.
garbage cans, so you're
Yeah.
not disrupting your neighbors, right?
Yes.
So exactly,
Well,
exactly.
Julie, this has been an awesome time getting to know about Rocky Mountain Bin Blasters and how well they serve the community, and hope to hear more of these success stories.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me on, and would love to keep you abreast of that.
Absolutely.
All righty.
Coffee talk with Kim Grace. Big room moments, no dead space. You bring the story, we shape the shine. Cut it clean, make your message fly. The studios, wherever you are. Office desk to a rising star. Zero chaos, premium feel. Human first and fully real. You got a business to run, you got a vision to share. Amelia Media builds the stage so your people see you there. From the first header to the final frame, we package passion with a polished name. This is your story, a signal, you glow. Step in the studio and let it show. Studio stories, where your passion hits the screen, where your clients meet the why.
Hi, my trash can is overflowing with maggots. I see. We can send a crew today. Thank you so much.
Studio stories, smart, soulful, sharp, and smooth. You bring the story. Amelia Media brings the proof.